It's hard to know where to begin when it comes to recommending or even talking about Outer Wilds. Almost anything I could say about it could be construed as a spoiler, and if there's one game I'd give anything to play again for the first time, this would be it. So if you're here and you haven't played the game, I want to say to you in big capital letters, stop watching, drop everything, play this game. Trust me. The title of this video should tell you everything you need to know. In case my fanatical enthusiasm for the game isn't enough to convince you, I'll keep this intro as spoiler free as I can so that you can hear a little more about the game, but if you're already sold on it, then I would highly recommend pausing here and finding out what makes the game so good on your own. To sum up Outer Wilds in one word, I'd say that it's all about discovery. The 10-second pitch is that you explore a solar system with your spaceship, disembarking when you see something that you think deserves a closer look. Over time, as you explore more of the different planets in the system, you'll come to piece together the history of the system and why certain things are the way they are. The game doesn't give you a definite goal or objective, you're left to just explore and discover, led by your own curiosity. Just like in most games, as you progress you'll be able to access places that you couldn't before. Unlike most other games, however, progression in Outer Wilds doesn't happen because you got a new ability or tool or upgrade or anything like that. In fact, discounting the very short and mostly skippable tutorial at the beginning, there's nothing like upgrades or new abilities to be found anywhere in the game. In Outer Wilds, progression happens whenever you gain a new understanding about the world you're in, and that new understanding will allow you to reach new places or discover things that were hidden to you before. The game world doesn't change, only your understanding of it does, and your mind will be blown again and again as realization after realization start to pile up. When you eventually do reach the end game, it's not because you were given a goal and told what to do to reach the ending, it's because you learned enough about the state of the world to realize for yourself what needs to be done to bring things to an end. This is why almost anything I could show or describe about the game could be counted as a spoiler. Any example I might use to show you how good this game is would take from you the opportunity to discover it for yourself, and pretty much ruin that part of the experience for you. More than any other game I can think of, Outer Wilds really does demand to be played as blind as possible. This alone would be refreshing and unique enough to justify a strong recommendation, but I've barely scratched the surface of what makes this game so great. Outer Wilds solves so many problems that bigger budget games have been struggling with for years, and it makes the whole thing look effortless. If you're tired of mind-numbing open-world games that are boring to traverse and have the same content copied and pasted dozens of times, play Outer Wilds. If you're frustrated with having every modern game hold your hand with waypoints, mini-maps and overly generous checkpoints, play Outer Wilds. If you've been waiting for a game that makes you feel like originality isn't dead, and that revolutionary new ideas are still possible, for the love of God, do yourself a favour and play Outer Wilds. I have only one caveat that I think you should know, because not every game can be for everyone. Outer Wilds is a game that asks slightly more of the player than the average casual blockbuster. The game trusts you to be curious and invested enough to want to explore and see the thing around the next corner, or on the next planet, as the case may be. You need to meet the game halfway to make this work, and that's the way Outer Wilds is best experienced in my opinion, by setting aside a weekend and letting yourself get fully immersed in it. If that doesn't sound like the kind of thing you're into, then sadly I think Outer Wilds is probably not for you. But if you've listened to this intro and been excited or intrigued by anything I've said, then this is your last chance to stop the video and come back after you've finished the game. And know that I envy you the experience of playing one of the best and most important games in years for the first time.